blue skies.
Well, that worked. That's been supposed to go from that timer to looking at me for weeks now, and it hasn't worked at all. We're gonna do a little sound check. If my throat, if my voice sounds like my throat hurts, your sound is good. What I don't have here working is the chat, which I kind of neglected to do. Okay, I made a few changes over the last week or so, and we'll get to them in a minute. But first, because of the time crunch of cooking what we're cooking tonight, I think we need to get our process going here. This is a mix of buttermilk and an egg, and there's been chicken cooking in it now for a half hour. And what we're going to do now is coat it. We're going to pull it out of here and let it drip. Then we're going to put it over on a wrapped up cookie sheet. It's grating just a little bit longer. We're making a clone of KFC crispy chicken, if it works, right? It was probably a poor choice to do for a live show. Hang on. Because it does have that half hour soak, and then it has, after we do what we're doing now, it has a 15-minute rest. Now I'm blotting off the excess milk and egg. And then this mixture here is what makes it the KFC special stuff. This is a mix of 11 spices and herbs and flour. And I have a card that I'll try to put on screen at some point. And when I do, I'll leave it on for a couple of seconds so that you can screen capture or take a picture of it or whatever you want to do. Okay, we'll let that sit there for 15 minutes, and we'll take this piece and we'll pat it as dry as we can. This is to help with the adhesion of the coating. While I'm doing this, I gotta ask, how many of you have tongues that have those silicone covers on them? And do you love them or hate them? Because I hate them. I find that if you get oil on them, like if you deep fry, which we're doing tonight, they tend to be a little bit extra slippery. All right, now let's set the timer for 15 minutes. Now we're just gonna let that sit for 15 minutes, and then that microphone died. You should be able to hear me now because I can see it in this monitor that you can hear me. Okay, so let's see. What was I saying? I was saying that it's kind of funny. I was saying that I thought I had my sound problems cured because what happened before was each scene, each camera has to have a microphone source added to it. And I had called them all different names, and that got confusing. Now I've called them all mic 1, and mic 1 is on every scene. So you should be able to hear me on everything. Oh, good. So I don't know why that microphone died. It was fully charged 10 minutes ago. So I'll probably have to mark it so I don't use it anymore. Okay. Louisa, could you hear me at all in when I started? And the other thing I did, I changed the delay because it used to be from the time I say something until you hear it, assuming you hear it, was 20 seconds. I have shortened that up, so now it's 7 seconds. So that probably translates to 14 seconds between me saying something and you answering something and me reading the answer. And yeah, okay. I scared myself for a minute. I looked and the microphone meter was not moving. So those are just two of the changes. Also, I've ordered a plug-in transmitter receiver. It plugs into the microphone headphone jack on the computer and transmits to a receiver on me, and then there'll be a earbud that plugs into that goes into my left ear, and then I can tell without somebody in chat telling me that there's no sound, because I'll hear that there's no sound. Probably going to make me even more confused than I normally am, though, because what's going to come through that earphone is probably going to be 7 seconds later than I said it, but we'll see what happens. I think my oil is getting hot. It's supposed to get up to 350. And we have about 7 minutes left on the chicken before we can stick it in the fryer. I'm only cooking 2 pieces tonight because this is going to be my dinner. And nobody else at my house is going to eat this. And speaking of my house, probably starting next week, I will be doing these lives from my kitchen in my house. It's going to be pretty easy to make the transition. I just won't have everything without moving it back and forth. But I have to do that to some degree now. Because the house is air conditioned and this kitchen is not air conditioned. And right now, it's not even as hot as it sometimes is in here. It's only 96. I've had it up to 99.7, I think it was one day when I was cooking in here. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I've got another new feature that I want to show you. This is something I worked on this week. These are all really quick, and I plan to do 1 or 2 every show. And these are just the 2 I thought of this week. I'm going to show you one right now. When you're planning to use raisins in a recipe, such as bread or cookies, you want to put the raisins in a bowl and add a little hot water just to cover the raisins. And then we're going to let them set for 5 or 10 minutes or so, and they will fluff up. After they've set a while, they're going to look like this. When we're ready to use them, what we do is we scoop them out, put them on a paper towel, and just roll them around a little bit to dry them off. The purpose of this is so that they don't suck moisture out of your batter and they're softer. And as you can tell, I didn't aim the camera the best or position those raisins on the paper towel the best for doing that. So I'll have to pay more attention to that in the future. Okay, yes, it's 96 in here. Nice and balmy. I used to have the fan over there, and the blowing on me made mic noise. Now it does not make mic noise because it's behind me blowing on my back, which is actually much better than it was when it was over there. And you'll notice I'm not wearing t-shirts. I wear this lighter shirt that lets the breeze through better. So there's ways to cope with it. It's just pretty hot. Thankfully, we don't have the oven going tonight, so we don't have that extra heat to deal with. Okay. When we get the chicken in the fryer, which is going to be just another 5 minutes, then I'm going to do the feature of the week. We have an interesting one tonight, but actually, I'm hoping that one of our normal viewers logs on before I do show that. Okay, so as always, I want to show you my crew. These are some busy people. They work a lot during the week. Okay, many hours in a week go into producing this show, even though it doesn't really always look like any time at all went into the show. but there's a lot of hours that go into it. There's some research and there's a lot of computer time figuring out things like even in that quick tip, which took like 15, 20 seconds to run, there's probably an hour's worth of work to make that work. Our oil is hot, but we've got 3 more minutes before our chicken is ready. But I'm going to do something with one piece. A lot of the recipes I read said dip it in the flour twice. So one piece, I'm going to do that. That's supposed to help make it the extra crispy. And we'll knock all that excess off. And we'll set our flour and spices mixture aside. And I realized that I did not put that card that I said I had the recipe on in a position to make it accessible very easily, I don't think. Let me try something. Hopefully I don't lose you. Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, just 1 more minute. I'm ready. I don't know about you, but I'm ready. Now I have my handy dandy thermometer here because when you cook chicken, you want it to be 100. Time's up. Let's get this thing in the basket. You want it to be 165 degrees in order to be done, or to call it done. Okay, it's in the oil. The oil, as I said, is at 350 degrees. And it's going to cook in there for about 15 minutes. Probably about 7 minutes from now, we'll check it and see if it looks like it's ready to go. I'm going to try to move this overhead camera so that you can see into it. So let's see if you can. Yeah, you can definitely see that oil boiling. Hey, that's all right. I didn't. Hi, Linda. Were you and Cheryl hanging out together? Okay, so let me catch you guys up. What we're doing is some KFC Kentucky Fried Extra Crispy Chicken, theoretically. There's one piece that's not down in the oil. So at about 6 o'clock, I put 2 pieces of chicken, which is going to be my dinner, in a mixture of buttermilk and an egg. and then it soaked there until 6:30 or 6:35. And then I took it out, let it set over here for a couple minutes to drain, patted it a little with a paper towel, and then dredged it in this bucket of oil, of flour. Um, I have to laugh. I had a little joke when I started tonight. I said, we're going to do a sound check. If my vegetable oil. You can use, the recipe actually called for shortening. I didn't want to pay that much for shortening, so it's vegetable oil. But you can use other oils as well. Um, so anyway, I did a little sound check when I started tonight, and I said, if my voice sounds like I have a sore throat, your sound is working fine. Next thing I know, my microphone died, and there really was no sound. Go figure. But as I said earlier on, also I have ordered, and part of it at least should be here before next Sunday's show. I have ordered a receiver transmitter deal. The transmitter plugs into the microphone jack on the computer, and the receiver goes on me with an earbud that goes to my ear. I had to order the earbuds separately, of course, and I had to hunt around a little bit to find earbuds that don't have a microphone. I have Bluetooth hearing aids that would work perfect for this, except that they have, yeah, I do. It would work perfect for this, except that they have a built-in microphone that I cannot disable. So not being able to disable the microphone, which, by the way, I experimented with that all one day this week, and it kind of took priority over this microphone, so that I couldn't regulate it at all. I couldn't do anything with it, and it sounded skinnier. So that let that out, and that meant I spent some money to buy some stuff. And speaking of money, I've played this before, but I'm going to do it again. I think it's this one.
Are you enjoying the show? If you are, you can be a Gringo Baker backer and support the show by buying me a cup of coffee. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, and we're back. I just couldn't resist playing that. Yeah, I woke up yesterday morning with a bit of a dry throat, and then by last night after our pizza party, it was pretty obvious that I was not feeling well. And I took NyQuil and went to bed and slept for about 12 hours. And then I took a nap today for about another hour. So it's, oh, and I had, you're going to like this, I had chicken noodle soup for breakfast this morning. I'm a firm believer in the combination of NyQuil and chicken noodle soup. Can you hear that frying? I think you can. It's loud here right beside me. Marshmallows? I've never heard that one before. But I have some little ones in the refrigerator, so maybe I'll give that a shot. You need peppermints like Junior Mints, one of my favorite candies in the world. I would be willing to experiment with that. All right. Let's see. What else have I got? Oh, I showed one of the new features earlier. So, Louisa, bear with me. I'm going to do it again, the same one. When you're planning to use raisins in a recipe, such as bread or cookies, you want to put the raisins in a bowl and add a little hot water just to cover the raisins. And then we're going to let them set for 5 or 10 minutes or so, and they will fluff up. After they've set a while, they're going to look like this. When we're ready to use them, what we do is we scoop them out, put them on a paper towel, and just roll them around a little bit to dry them off. The purpose of this is so that they don't suck moisture out of your batter and they're softer. There. That's going to be a new feature that's going to play a couple, 3 times during each show as I think of quick tips to do to use that. I can't see my chicken. This does not look like KFC extra crispy. I will tell you that right now. It looks like maybe original. Does not look like the crispy chicken. Yeah, I hope that all of the tips are good tips. I'm trying to remember what the second one was. Oh, I know what it was. Which I thought of when I was getting ready for making the ingredients for our pizza party. When we have a pizza party, we have these 2 big, like Lazy Susans with a center bowl, and then I think it's 6 bowls, maybe 5 around the outside, and we have 2 of those. 2, and we have a different ingredient in each bowl. And last night we had 3 other bowls. Yeah, it probably will be one. We had 3 other bowls besides those bowls. And I saw those things. We got them in Costco, and I saw them for sale again when we were there a couple of weeks ago. But they more than doubled in price, so we didn't buy one. It is. Otherwise, you get. If you don't soak the raisins beforehand, 2 things can happen. One is they just don't plump up, or 2 is they plump up, but they pull moisture out of your batter, and that's not good either. So you want them plumped up to begin with. And I was thinking when I was doing that, when I buy raisins now, they're all a little dried up. They're supposed to be dried, but they're all hard little dried things. And when I was a kid, I used to just love to snack on raisins, and I remember, perhaps incorrectly, but I remember that they were much bigger and softer. All right, I'm going to take a look at this and probably turn it over at this point in time because these are big pieces. And they're also stuck to the basket. And maybe I'll just take a look and see what the temperature of them is right now. Looks to me like it's got a ways to go. I'm reading about 115. Yeah, the little boxes are really good. Oh no, they're 130-ish. They got a little bit of ways to go, but not too much. That was one of my favorite snacks when I was growing up. Well, Linda, we would have had the same raisins, so if you remember it and I remember it, then I guess my memory is accurate. And for those that don't know, Linda is my sister. She's in one of my videos, actually. We did a video when she was here last time. It was so much fun. And I keep trying to talk her into coming down here again to do it. Not just to do it, but to visit. And also, while she's here, we would do more videos. In fact, if she was here at the right time, I would get her in the studio with me for a live, and we would have a blast, and I think so would you. Okay, now, what are we going to do now? Well, you know what? I'm going to show you my second tip.
If you want to make a big batch of bacon, the easiest way to do it is spread it out on a cookie sheet lined with tin foil, stick it in your oven, and bake it at 350 degrees.
Yeah, the only problem with us doing videos together is that there's about, 3,000 miles between us, I think? Ooh, that sounds good. Oatmeal raisin cookies soaked in dark rum. Might have to try that. You might have to come down here and show me how to do that, actually, Linda. So get yourself a ticket and head to Puerto Rico. Just don't do it at the end of this month because we're going to Florida. Finally. Okay, well, let me check this temperature again. Seems like it's a little bit quick, but I'm going to let it go for another minute or two. Okay. So those are the type of tips that I'm going to be doing. Some will be longer than that, and some will be shorter than that. And there might even be one or two that actually have a couple of parts. It is, I never did that before. And I'd make a batch of bacon and have bacon drying on paper towels while I was still cooking bacon. This way, it's all done at the same time. And that sheet that you saw me doing there, that's a 22-ounce package of bacon. And everybody in the pizza party was saying how good it was. You Velcro dog, huh? Well, we don't wish anything bad on Cooper, so we're not wishing for him to pass. All right, let's see what our temperature of the breast is. Well, it's 140 at least. Let's let that. My other thermometer, the orange one, is much quicker than this one, but that one is in my house. Okay, this is in a fat part of the breast, and it just hit 167. So we're going to say those are done. Oh yeah, both pieces are done. So I can say that most of my dinner is cooked. I don't know what that is, Louisa. We at home we usually, because we're just cooking bacon for the two of us, we usually use the George Foreman grill. That does a pretty good job on bacon too, but I'm not sure it's any faster. And it might even not be as fast as cooking it in the oven. And it's certainly more troublesome than in the oven, because in the oven you have a pan which is lined with tinfoil, so that in theory you don't even have a pan to wash. And when I did that pan full 22-ounce package, it leaked. So I did have a pan to wash. Okay, so let's show you what this chicken looks like. Let me I should have gotten a dish. Oh, good. Now I got to find it. Oh, there we are. If you remember the original Kentucky Fried Chicken, extra crispy, it sort of looked like it had a little, I don't know, like sort of like flakes, like it was cooked with cornflakes or something like that. But this doesn't look like that at all. This has a much finer texture. My hand is shaking. So it doesn't have those flakes, but it does look like it probably is pretty flavorful. And we'll know that in a couple of minutes when it's not 165 degrees anymore, because I'll take a bite. And our special feature tonight is one that Cheryl Demetria uh, asked if I could find, which is a low carb keto um, site. And I'm going to go ahead and play it for you right now.
High protein, low carb recipes that don't taste like a cardboard. 2 ingredient bread, pizza crust nobody believes it's a low carb. Hi, I'm Raleigh. I started keto recipes with Raleigh back in 2021 when friends and family kept asking me how I was eating low carb and still making tasty food. I started filming the recipes for them and it grew from there. Now I make easy to follow high protein, low carb recipes for people who want more protein and less carbs on their plate without giving up the food they love. Whether you eat high protein, low carb, or keto, come check them on my YouTube channel, Keto Recipes with Raleigh.
There. Now I I have a taste of the chicken in my mouth, and it's not bad. It is a long ways away from KFC extra crispy, but it's good. I did find another recipe that I intended to use and then couldn't find it again, which sounded like it was going to be even more of a close copy than this did. And this sounded better than it is as far as a copy goes. Like I say, it is good. It's pretty juicy. I think you can see that that's pretty moist. So let me taste it for you. Yep, it's pretty good. It is crispy. It's not crispy in the same way that the KFC stuff was, and it's not as spicy, I guess, as the KFC stuff was. He is. I'm kind of wondering where Chili is lately. Is he being overworked again? Anyway, that's the cooking for tonight, and I'm gonna be pretty happy with that for my dinner. And let's see, anything else up here that I haven't shown you yet? I don't think so. Overworked, probably underpaid, certainly underappreciated. So anyway, that's the feature of the week. Obviously, she can be found on YouTube. Cheryl, did you know that site before, or as I hope, is it new to you? There's a little bit of pepper flavor sneaking in right now, but it's a little bit. It's not much at all, considering that there's a lot of pepper in this. I'm watching the monitor over there because that's where my chat is. I actually put it on the wrong side of the screen tonight. Oh, good. I'm glad it was new to you. Okay, cool. I posted in one of the Facebook groups that I posted in today, which has 11,400 members. It's quite a bit more than my group's 127. But I posted there today um, telling people that I'm kind of out of uh, sites to list and suggesting that anybody who wants their channel listed should send me an email. So hopefully next week we've got a new one. If we don't, I might well replay one of the early ones. And this show is doing what I was afraid it was going to do and run a little short. I had plans on making this show actually over length so that I could trim it down to make it the length I wanted it. But I just didn't feel up to it last night or today to work much on this. Okay, so I really would like to keep going, but I don't really want to bore everybody with just rattling on. So I think what we're going to do is just call it a show. Anybody have any objection to that? Which I seriously don't. Now, does anybody have any kind of channel that they would like me to try to find and feature? I mean, I should be able to find anything. If you wanted something specific, like what to do with over roasted peanuts, I might be able to even find that. All right, so I think I'm going to take my sore throat and close this place up and go home. So I'm going to hit the end. I can't even remember which one is the end, I think. Thanks. It was a little on the short side. I'll see you next week, and we will have, theoretically, we'll have an hour-long show next week. And then the week after that, by the way, I'm hoping to do from Florida. So we're hoping, I'm hoping, I don't imagine my wife is, but I'm hoping to be doing pinchos at the grill at my daughter's house. Okay, let me see if I got the right button here.
On the snowy hills where the pine trees stand tall, to a busy town where the Coquis call.
Thanks.